This video, presented by Truman Medical Center's IT Education Group, will demonstrate how to document plans of care as the follow-up nurse. Now, in the previous video, we demonstrated how to, as the admitting nurse, order or add a plan of care, select outcomes and interventions, edit those outcomes and interventions, and how to document the care plans. Now, we're going to demonstrate what to do with those plans of care as the follow-up nurse. First, what are the responsibilities as the follow-up nurse to the existing plans of care? Well, each shift will be only responsible for charting that you reviewed and updated those care plans. You prioritize your plans of care. You chart on any phase where the status has changed, and you add or remove plans of care based on that shift's assessment. So the first thing I need to do is see what plans of care have been created or added from the previous shifts. Again, I'm in my Power Order screen, and under View, I will have an interdisciplinary area. And if I click on the plus symbol next to it, I can expand it out so I can see what my plans of care are. So from the previous shift, I have my communication, knowledge, nutrition, and pain. Now, after you have done your patient assessments and you determine I need to add a new care plan, you follow the exact same steps as you did before. You click on Add, and you'll get your new folder will come up here. You click on Plans of Folder, or Plans of Care folder, and you select the area where the plans of care are. Select your plan of care. You click Done. You add your outcomes and interventions like you did before. You sign it, you refresh, and then you're ready to go and document on it. It's the exact same steps. If there's an existing care plan that you no longer feel is necessary, you can right-click on that care plan and you can choose Discontinue. Now, when you choose Discontinue, the system is going to require you to put a reason why this care plan is being discontinued. So click on the drop-down arrow and you can put in a reason. I'm going to choose Patient Condition Changed. If you decide that there are any outcomes and interventions that you want to keep, you put a check mark in this column. If not, you click on OK, you sign it, and then that care plan will no longer be on your patient's screen. Now, if there are any excluded components from an already existing care plan that you wish to add, first you go and select your care plan, click on the View Excluded Components icon. You'll get your checkmark boxes that you can include any new outcome or intervention. You sign off on it, you hit refresh as I demonstrated in the previous video, and then those will be added to your care plan. Remember, you can toggle that light bulb on and off. And the same thing with this add to phase. So if there is an outcome or intervention from a different care plan which you believe would be relevant to the existing care plan, click on add to phase, you click outcome and intervention, you do your search for it, you find it in the search results, you add it, you sign it, you refresh, and then that component will be added to the existing care plan. Now, when it comes time to actually documenting the care plan, remember you will get your reminders at 0400 and 1600 through the Care Compass action or activity screen. So when you come to your Document and Plan tab, and we have our 4 existing care plans in here. Remember, all you have to do is chart that you reviewed and updated them. You prioritize the plans according to what you, the shift nurse, believes the priorities should be. You chart on any phase where the status has changed, and you add or remove any plans of care based on that shift's assessment. Well, we already took care of the adding and removing the care plans. So now we have to make sure that we document the reviewed, updated. So we click on the arrow to the right, and it puts in the date and time for us. And yes, I did review this. And I'm going to prioritize on here. Now remember, whatever the previous shift put in there is irrelevant. This is my patient on my shift, and I'm going to determine what the priorities are going to be, 1, 2, or 3. Now the same rule still applies with prioritizing 1, 2, and 3 and none. You only prioritize 3 plans of care. So any plans of care that you have after that 3, you do not need to prioritize them. You still need to document on them, and if you're the follow-up nurse, you have to document on any phases where the status has changed, but you only prioritize 3. Okay? So I'm going to make my communication on here is going to be a 3. And as I go through my care plan, I can see that the outcomes and interventions were all met. So I do not need to document on that anymore. I come down to my next care plan, And again, yes, I reviewed this. And knowledge for me is not going to be too important, so that's not going to be a 1 or a 2. So I'm going to skip that one. And I can see here that everything was met. So I come down to my next one, which is going to be nutrition. And yes, I reviewed this. And I'm going to make my nutrition a 2. I can see here that snacks were not offered because there is a red X next to it. So if I want to expand to see why that was not met, I click on the plus symbol in this column, and I can see what was previously documented. So when I click on the not done, here's that note that I added from the previous shift. The patient did not request snacks. So this is why it's important to make sure that if outcomes and interventions were not met, that you put in a reason why so that the follow-up shifts can read that note. So I can say that, yes, I did offer snacks to my patient and that the patient took them. So date and time, and that was done. So here's my pain. And again, yes, I reviewed this. My pain is still going to be a 1. I can see that the patient did not verbalize satisfaction pain relief. I'm going to expand, click on it, and see that the patient was complaining of pain in the lower left leg. So is the patient's pain satisfied? If the answer is yes, I'm going to click on the check mark with the arrow to the right, seeing that it was met. Date and time are put in there. So now I've documented on all 4 of them. I'm making sure that there are no more red check marks down there, or red X's down there, and everything is good. I click on my signed documentation, and I have completed my charting as the follow-up nurse. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact IT Education.